Ben Johnson called me, said, "Hey, Case, you know what's so sexy about you?" I was like, "What?" And this rookie comes in, looks around, he's like, "This is where we get our ankles taped?" And I was like, "Yeah." He looks at me, "Will you tape my ankles?"
No.
And I said, "Yeah, bud, hop on up on this table here." Finally, I was like, "Hey, dude, you better learn who the quarterback is if you want the ball."
You're down by 1, 10 seconds left. You chuck that thing.
I see his white gloves come up.
I've survived every situation, knowing when to freeze and when to run. And regret is just a memory written on my brow, and there's nothing I can do about it now.
Dude, I've been looking forward to this, Casey, for a very long time. We get to talk to my good buddy, Case Keenum, with the Chicago Bears. Case, where does life find you? How does life find you and the family right now, brother?
Mitch, Casey, appreciate you having me on, man. Yes. I'll blow your mind. First of all, another time here, Mitch, my real name is actually Casey. So that'll just add layers upon layers of this.
Let's go.
Dueling Caseys here.
Wow.
That'll definitely screw you up. But yeah, I'm just down here in Houston, man, raising some kids, going back and forth between Chicago, and really the what's really going on here, Mitch, I'll tell you this, is I have a coach pitch baseball week coming up. I have 2 practices and 3 games this week.
Wow.
So my arm is in shape. It's ready to go. I'm just hitting bats all day, man.
Well, 2 things. One is it's not as easy as it is, you think, right? Because it really is. It's not a full throw because you don't want to just give these kids 90-mile-per-hour heaters down the middle. But you also don't want it to die at home base.
Yeah,
right?
the slower you throw, the more it's going downhill when it gets to these little kids. And then you have some kids that are like, they pull out and swing like that. Some kids, they like to, so you're just trying not to hit kids. It's a big goal. But I'm just trying to throw meatballs right down the middle.
Do meatballs down the middle.
You can't lollygag it,
No, you can't lollygag it. Don't hit children. We're going to add another layer to this. Casey's name is actually not KC. It's
Kenneth Carl. So
nice.
I go by KC. That's my initials. I've gone by that my whole life. So
I love that. Kenneth was my grandfather's name, man. So
mine too.
What?
Dude, if we were all in person, we'd be smooching with tongue right now. Just look at all the fellas just getting into it. This is fantastic.
Come on, man.
Grandpa KC, Kenneth Carl. I was named after him. So,
dude, Kenneth
That's
and
cool.
Casey.
Case and I are fucking.
Yeah,
that's right.
The boys are holding hands and singing proverbial kumbaya at this moment. Another question for you, especially in the slow pitch thing. How do you find yourself as a parent watching your kids play? Do you find yourself completely hands off? Because my son is 4, he'll chase a butterfly, and that's great. But I'm also like, try harder. I will never be that parent that's in there, but I see where it lives.
Yeah,
I see where it lives in my soul.
It's hard, man. Yeah, it's so hard to not take what we've done for years. I'm going into year 15 of my NFL career, and
you are.
treat a practice like we're about to go out and practice this afternoon. Like, all right, dude, like we got to get there 20 minutes early. Like we got to stretch, like got to get activated, get my BF, all the rolling out, like, and not take it and be like, dude, let's just take some water balloons and hit some water. I'm trying to like recenter, refocus myself to like when we just play catch in the yard, like don't talk about his shoulder, and like get your hip and your shoulder disassociation, like. Let's just have fun. Let's just play catch, man, and enjoy it. But I am his coach too, so it's like let me just turn it on during practice, but then not in the backyard. It's fun though, dude. It's so
when
fun.
You become dad. That's when
exactly. Exactly.
Let me ask you a question. Is your wife athletic? Was she an athlete?
Yeah. Definitely.
Oh.
I didn't mean to like pause too much there. Like it wasn't like she played in college or anything.
Shout out Kimberly, who's one of the greatest. She's the best.
So not a superior athlete like yourself. Have you ever, while watching your son playing baseball, ever looked at her and be like, he got that lack of athleticism from you?
Well, her side of the family, I'll give her credit because her dad was he's about 6'3". I'm, barely scratching 6 foot there. So I'm hoping that my son gets a little bit of the height from him. And I know he's definitely got some genes because her and her dad are both knock-kneed, and pigeon-toed.
Oh,
And so
geez.
he runs, with his knees. I don't know how they don't hit each other, but he's doing a good job. He's having fun, man. We're having fun down here in Houston.
Casey and I would like to take this opportunity to thank our sponsor over at Labatt for not only making a delicious beverage, I mean, even on the can it says pristine Pilsner, and I tend to agree, but also being there for the best roasts and toast to your buddy, because Labatt is brewed for the roast. Now, I'm off to the golf course, and my plan is to drink enough of these to where I'm not depressed when I go to bed because of how shitty I am at this sport. Back to the episode. You're ingrained in Houston, my friend. Of course, that's where your family is, but also, dude, I think this is it. The Houston.
Yeah, spread those fingers a little bit.
Spread
There
those
you go.
guys. Yeah, Houston Cougars.
That's
All
right.
A prolific career, my friend. You actually were ahead of the game. You had 6 years, including a medical redshirt, nasty ACL. I think
there you go.
That would have been your senior year, right? And then you got that one last year. Mm-hmm. But I want to get this correct. You left in 2011, after your 2011 season, as the NCAA's all-time leader in passing yards, touchdowns, and completions. My friend, and I still think those hold up to date. That's awesome. My question to you now is, you got a lot going on for you, Case. You got a beautiful family, all this stuff. I'm sure you sleep very well. But do you ever catch yourself at night, kind of just your mind's racing, you're tussling, you're looking at the ceiling, and you think, man, I missed out on a lot of NIL money.
We've talked about this before, and I don't know how you feel about this, Mitch, but like the college atmosphere and just structure of how kids are going to college now, transferring so many
It's insane.
times, the payments that happen, like what actually gets reported. I mean, NFL contracts, what actually gets reported and what's actually getting paid there's a difference. Like it's hard to tell even what guys are getting paid in college and what actually is getting paid out. I don't know. I may not have even been recruited. Like I had one scholarship offer coming out of high school. So I may not have, I may have been the kid, like, at University of Houston may have been like, you know what, we can go get kids in the transfer portal over here that'll probably wind up starting instead of this 175-pound, kid from West Texas who, may play quarterback, we might have to move to a receiver. Like we're going to develop him up. So I don't know. I think I could have been like, yeah, if NIL would have started while I was in college, I might have like been fielding offers from, all the lower tier SEC schools and, tried to go jump ship and do that. I don't know. I would like to think that I would have been loyal to my boys. Like I did have a coach that left when I was redshirt sophomore, the guy that recruited me in, and I stayed because of the guys that I, wound up finding a bond with and a family-like atmosphere. This, white kid from West Texas coming into Third Ward in Houston, man, it's a culture shock, and I loved it, man. I loved it. So I don't know. I think I've done pretty well, but there's no telling what could have happened, man. It's a whole nother world right now.
But it's insane now. It's insane. It's the wild, wild west. Like, you hit the nail on the head, and what I'm about to say is because, like, you were like ride or die with your guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
You went in together, you're finishing together, you're a 4-year team, 3-year but like now
6 years.
Yeah, but like the traditional was your normal 3 and you're out, or 4, whatever. But now it's you got guys that have zero loyalty. They'll chase the money, and they're on 4 different teams in 4 years. Like, if you ask them at some point, like, oh, where'd you graduate from, or where'd you, like, oh, I was on like 4 different teams. I don't really give a shit about any of them.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of taking.
They got gear from everywhere.
It's like taking the love and the passion kind of out of it. Like, when I played college hockey, it was I'm here for 4 years, and we got new kids, freshmen coming in, but you're with your guys for that time, building a program. It's not like that anymore. It sucks.
And on that point, Casey brings up a fascinating point, like the loyalty thing. You're going into your 15th year in the NFL, so you've seen the group of rookies. This will be your 15th iteration of a rookie class, right? Have you seen the type of person and player coming in? Is there any difference from that NIL thing and like how they receive information and or coaching and stuff, or is it just kind of like are us old heads doing the cyclical thing where it's just like it's not the same game as it used to be?
These kids here these days.
These kids are fucking soft.
There probably generally is a difference. Just I would say the money has definitely changed. There's more transfers, guys who played 2 or 3, like you said, Casey. They're still rookies. I mean, I remember. I don't know if I ever told you this story, but this was like pretty early in my career. I was like year 5 or 6, and I was actually playing in St. Louis, and a rookie receiver during OTAs. I'm like sitting there talking to Reggie Scott. He was our trainer, kind of leaning on a taping table, just talking to him. We're in Rams gear, and this rookie comes in, and he's like, looks around. He's like, "This is where we get our ankles taped." And I was like, "Yeah." He looks at me. You can tell where I'm going with this. He looks at me and says, "Will you tape my ankles?"
No.
And I said, "Yeah, bud. Hop on up on this table here."
Oh no!
And I just taped it straight to the skin. And he's like, "What's going on?" And like finally, I was like, "Hey, dude, you better learn who the quarterback is if you want the ball." He's rookie wide receiver. So rookies are still rookies. I mean, they're still don't know what they don't know. They didn't know what they didn't know then. And yeah, it's just
That is a fantastic story.
And you can't blame. I don't think you can blame kids for transferring and trying to make money. Like we probably would have transferred and made money, like if we could. Like you're telling me that if you'd offered me this to go take care of my family, I wouldn't. But
No.
I don't know. They are young kids. Are still young kids.
Well,
The
you know
fact
what?
that you played along with that was brilliant.
Yeah, it was fun. Made a good
Well,
time there.
the fact that you aged yourself by saying this was like year 3 or 4, and I was with the St. Louis.
That's
Rams
right.
Also is fascinating, dude. You get into the league in 2012, and what's interesting, I was talking to Casey about this, is like when you hear journeyman, you don't often think to the uninitiated success, but I would deem your career as a wild success case. You've had this unbelievable career around some unbelievable teams, and life has taken you to fascinating places. I have a 2-part question for you. One is, all right, humor me here. Do you think you could go through, if I looked at your Wikipedia page chronologically, from what team to what team to what team to what team, could you get me from 2012 to right now? I have the list. I have it right
Houston,
here.
St. Louis, Houston, St. Louis, LA, Minnesota, Denver, Washington, Cleveland, Buffalo, Houston, Chicago.
Oh my God.
Hey, can I tell you how fascinating and quick that was? Dude, that's
impressive.
fantastic. Okay, with all those stops, Case. With all those stops.
It looks like you spent that time thinking about that question, chewing on your pen, and then I just blew that question out of the water there.
You see this, or yeah, I don't want to say.
Mitch was like, he's going to struggle a little bit on this.
No.
I'm gonna get on
I
this
wasn't
question
expecting.
here.
I was not expecting that. But that being said, you learn so much about yourself every year you play in the NFL. All right, I want you to tell me at what stop. This is also a 2-part question, so not fair. At what stops did you learn the most about yourself as a man, and at what stop did you learn the most about yourself as a football player?
Oh man, that's a great question, Mitch. Because I mean, it's everywhere. I would say probably Houston the first time and the second time. Because the first time I was a rookie, undrafted kid who thought this NFL thing was like this, like, I don't know, this unattainable, incredible goal to just make enough money to provide for my family and play real meaningful games and win playoff games and do these things. And I built this thing up in my head, I guess, over the last year of me playing in college and then the combine. And there's just enough people out there that are experts that tell you you're a little too short, can't throw it far enough. And there's even more now because of social media. There wasn't even social media back then. It was now everybody's got an opinion and wants to have a hot take and have the opposite of, oh, this guy's not as good as everybody says he is. Like,
Fucking baseline gremlins.
oh yeah. And it's like, so you have enough of those people who are actually smart people are on TV, and they're telling you these things and you're hearing these things and you start to believe a little bit of that. And I get that first year And it took a really strong developer of a quarterback, Gary Kubiak, Papa Kub.
Shout out
Um,
Coobs, baby.
yeah, and he just spent the time to develop me, man. He put me on the practice squad. I was terrible at the combine, didn't get drafted. He brought me in undrafted, but put me on the practice squad my first year and really taught me what it means to play pro quarterback. And that really helped me a ton, like moving forward. Like I hadn't taken a lot of snaps in under center. I was a shotgun guy in college, spread, throwing it around. So it was a great first year. I mean, it was really, really hard. It was one of the hardest years because I didn't make the team, and I was like, you're just like walking into every meeting like, should I be getting donuts for everybody here? Like, please, I hope I don't have to tell a joke and like take my shirt off and tell everybody I signed for a steak dinner, when these guys are making $1 million a week. And then the second one part of the question, me is learning as a man. I came back to Houston. This was 3 years ago. And the second year of that deal, I had a season-ending foot injury in training camp and thought my career was over. So for me, having football taken away from me, which I know you can relate to being towards the end of your career, that you're like, what do I do now? And like now, obviously, you're thriving here.
Easy.
And
Pump the
but
brakes.
like for me, I'm like sitting here like, what do I do? I've got my foot's in a cast. I'm getting knee surgery too. Like, am I done with this thing that I've put so much into for my whole life? And really took a deep dive with my wife and got some help kind of talking through like, okay, you can't treat everything like it's football. You can't treat everything like you did, working hard, like, oh, forget about that. Rub some ice on it. You're gonna be okay. Like, no, like let's talk about that, how that actually made you feel and what kind of person you want to be without football. So we could dive a whole lot more into that, but that's the two-part answer to your two-part well thought out question there, Mitch.
The pen I had was chewed to oblivion. Thank you for giving us such a graceful answer. Communication, two things. Communication is not always easy, especially in that facet when push comes to shove, you're staring down the proverbial barrel of what you think is the end of your career. And it's also fascinating that football, and like every facet of life, is full of these unbelievable euphoric highs and gut-wrenching, devastating lows, right? And I feel like it's really hard to dance in between. That being said, please bear with me. I'm going to take the low-hanging fruit here and what I assume is one of your great triumphs in your career, because before I knew you, I felt like I knew you after watching this game. Let's take it back. Let's put our caps on. It's got to be fascinating to be etched in the history of the NFL with a singular play having its own monocle. The Minneapolis Miracle. All right? You're down by 1. 10 seconds left on your own 39-yard line against the New Orleans Saints. You chuck that thing, the top blows off, you guys head to the championship round. Could you do me a solid favor? Oh, he's getting something.
Yes.
He's getting something.
It's one of my favorite little pictures I have. I don't know if you can see it. Me and Diggsy.
Wow.
Oh, what a
Look
great
at
photo,
that.
dude. That's fantastic.
That's
You were
amazing.
palming his face. That's
Yeah,
pure love right
my
there.
mind was blown.
Can you take us through that play and what ensued after?
Yeah, man. I mean, gun Buffalo right, key left, 7 heaven. It's the same play we did in walkthrough every Saturday. The sideline play that you kill to another side. Whatever it is that you're like, we doing this again. We doing this again. Like, man, it came up in the biggest moment. It was crazy. I remember telling the guys I was going to give one of them a chance, and Adam was basically triple covered, and Diggs had this 7 heaven route. He's supposed to run to the back pylon, and like true Diggs nature, he cut it off a little bit short, but he was open, and threw it a little bit behind him. Well, on purpose or not, we'll never know. But it kind of stopped him a little bit, and I see his white gloves come up, and he catches it, and that place just erupts, telling him to get out of bounds. And we all know what happened. That safety came and knocked his own guy out, and that place just, you talk about the loudest I've ever heard a place when they knew he was going to score. It was epic, dude. And my mind was blown. It was so cool. Got to give a great post-game interview about, like, how it really wasn't the best moment of my life. Like, I don't know, just God was working, man. It was just I mean, Minneapolis Miracle, that's just the perfect way to say it. Like, it was a miracle season, miracle year, just a great place. Minnesota is incredible, man. The people there, the organization, we loved it. We didn't have kids, but man, we at that point, but we just jumped right into the community. People were shoveling our snow for us, and we did ice fish that year for our only time we've ever ice fished. And I don't know, it was a really cool year, man. And then you kind of alluded to, highs and lows of years, and I had a friend text me when I started my first season. I actually got to start, and I lost 8 in a row. And he said, "Man, it's the good times that make the shitty times feel so damn good." And I was like, that's it, man. And I was going through it then, but to be able to do that then was really special.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, it's a cool place
Dude,
to play,
was-
man. It's one of my, of all the newer stadiums, it's number one for me. And I don't know what your thoughts are on that, but I think that place is really cool to play.
Dude, it's a ruckus environment. Now, you kind of alluded to something that what makes you so unique is that you're wildly funny, but you also have a very moral backbone. You're rooted in Jesus Christ, all this stuff. But did any part of your brain after that in the ensuing months just be like, you know what, fuck it. I'm gonna use this as this superpower for bad. I'm the guy through the Minneapolis Miracle. I want to do whatever the heck I want in Minneapolis. If there's a restaurant I want to go to, whatever, do this thing.
No, we did have a pretty fun night that night after the game. I remember going to a little restaurant that my wife assured me was like low key, and it, like, hey, I just want my friends and family there. And it somehow it happened that we were there, and it turned into this clubhouse. And I was like, okay, we're out of here. But no, that whole year, man, like, and as you know, during a football season, like, there's stuff going on everywhere, especially when things are going good, man. And that's what was so fun about Buffalo is you kind of get insulated from it a little bit, just because it's like you're just focused on you and your people, and it's just your guys. But no, man, I was able to really stay focused that year. I had some great people in my life that were able to really keep me accountable, encourage me, challenge me when I was getting down. Make sure I was on the straight and narrow, and making sure I wasn't focused on all that. So, not to say we didn't have any fun, but I would say, man, I'm a product of, it's not me. Somebody's looking out for me, man. I don't know how I could do this if I wasn't a Christian athlete, man. That's to not get up here and not trying to preach at y'all today, but man, it's really, it's been the story of my life, because I'm just this punk from nowhere, man, from West Texas. So,
Well, my friend, you are not nobody. You're entering your fifth. And listen, we're more than football, all of us. But just speaking in football terms, you are entering your 15th NFL season. Saying that out loud, and it's not even me, is baffling. You just re-upped, and we should have told you this at the beginning of the show. Congratulations on ringing up for a 2-year, $5.5 million contract. That's no small feat. That's no small number. First of all, I want to ask you why. Do you feel like at this point you would go back? Like, what about Chicago is so enticing? And, like, what does it mean to be entering your 15th season in the NFL?
man, I wasn't supposed to have one, to be 15. Honestly, like, the one of the lower times was that second year in Houston in 24. It was when I hurt my foot. Thought I was done. Kind of treated that whole year like okay, I'm going to get back in shape just because. But I'm happy, man. I had 13 years in the NFL. I was like, God has blessed me so much. I love what I've been able to do. The Minnesota Miracle was obviously incredible that season. Got to spend some great time with you guys. Been in the playoffs a bunch. A lot of guys have never made the playoffs, so I can't fault and feel bad or sorry for myself. But Ben Johnson called me, 3 or 4 weeks after free agency started, and said, "Hey, Case, what's so sexy about you?" I was like, "What?" He's like, "I love, like, the way that you work with young quarterbacks in the quarterback room and developing these guys and like just the mesh and the gel that you can be. And I was like, all right. He said, come on up and we'll talk and make sure your wife's okay moving up to Chicago. I said, okay. So I go up there, supposed to have a 15-minute meeting, and it turns into like a 2-hour meeting. And I'm like, I need to be here. So we work out a deal. And last year was just incredible, man. Working with Caleb and getting to see what Ben Johnson and how good of a football coach he is, dude. He has, you talk about superpowers, man. He's got 5 of them, and he uses them all every day, man. He sees the future. He's an unbelievable game planner. He can call plays like nobody I've ever seen, and he's a great communicator, man. And he's humble enough to know that he doesn't know. He's great. I could go on and on about Ben Johnson.
Please do. That was my next question.
He's really, really stinking good. And on top of that, you combine it with Caleb Williams, like Mitch. Mitch, I go into our I go into our protection meetings, and I'm like, all right, just block the A and B gaps, guys. Just keep it firm up here. Let him free on the outside. It's very similar to Josh. He gets out of them different ways, but man, like you just can't tackle him in the open field. It's wild.
Was there one moment? So first of all, I assume you walk in as this guy who's so good with young quarterbacks. You see a young dude who's got all this hype. You saw what he could be in his rookie year. I thought there was huge signs of promise. And then, of course, he explodes onto the scene this past year, not only as a leader, but as a football player.
Mm-hmm.
What was it like? You kind of alluded to it a little bit. What was it like this last year, walking in originally, seeing a guy with, the nails are all painted and stuff like this, but he seems true to himself, seems like a leader of men and a playmaker, all encompassed in one.
Yeah, no, he's he is what you see he is, I think he's a young kid that's just never not been the most talented kid on the field. The nails thing, I tell him, I'm like, Caleb, dude, every one of my friends asked me about your nails. And I just mess with him. I'm like, yeah. So I don't know what I tell him. So but he is who he is. He likes being different, and he likes being himself, which is great, and stays true to it. And he's really freaking good at playing quarterback. He's got a freaking hose.
Dude,
and
fucking darts out there.
He does, and people don't realize how windy Soldier Field is. Like, it's whipping and swirling. Even those couple of game-winning touchdowns that he threw against Green Bay, the one in the playoffs, the one at the end of the year, it was like 20 gusts up to 30. And we played one of our worst weather games of my career. I was with you on that rock hard Soldier Field. It was -30. That was the bomb cyclone week. Remember, we got the bomb cyclone of snow in Buffalo, got stuck in Chicago for the whole week. And that was the coldest game I've ever played, ever in my life. I don't know about you.
I had a concussion, so I was at home. But
You son of a God. I forgot about that.
No, I had a bunch of them, so it could be half the games ever that I ever played. I had a concussion, but I remember you guys were saying like you had no footing.
Yeah, it was like you might as well should have been out there in tennis shoes because the ground was so hard. It was wild.
Cleats on concrete.
Just guys. I remember like GVR, Greg Van Roten, coming off the field at one point. I have this vivid memory. And he didn't wear, none of the guys wore sleeves. Yeah. And it was just like beet red arms and then just like snot and spit just frozen on his beard.
Just football.
He's just like, this sucks.
GVR had such, as a guy who, Penn guy, Ivy League dude, would also just come up with just like, I'm miserable right now. I hate this. I expect this soliloquy of pain, but he would be super blunt with it. Was there one moment this past year, whether it was in practice or in a game, one play, one instance where you saw Caleb Williams do something and you're like, this guy's going to be a problem for the foreseeable future for all the opposing teams that play against him?
I would say it probably wasn't a moment most people saw, but it was pretty early in the year. It was, I don't know what game it was, but it was week 3 or 4, and he just kind of settled in and started playing quarterback. Like, it took a while, but he can make the big plays. He can make the splash stuff. Like, he can make guys miss, turn around, throw it off his back foot, and win us a football game. But, like, taking the normal, everyday quarterback, like, pop, check down, or, good eyes, good feet, good ball, like just normal stuff. And I'm like, there it is. Just keep doing that. And then when we need you to be Superman, go be Superman.
Right. Yeah.
And I think I caught Josh in his career where he'd kind of gone through a lot of that and had found his way with both of those things. And just, then it's just this Rubik's Cube or trying to figure out of when to do that and when not, which, you still are, and it's hard. But guys that are that talented, that can make every play, any down, any time, it's hard to just throw one away or, take the check down when you could, I could have scrambled out and made a big play. So I was just really, really proud of him and how he progressed throughout the year. I don't know if it was any one moment. It just kind of like at some point early in the season, he just started playing NFL quarterback. And I was like, here we go. This guy's going to be special. Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, no. Oh, that's going to be a problem.
Yeah. What is it like to... I always think of like historic franchises. What is it like, Pittsburgh, Green Bay, and I also throw the Bears in there. The Bears. What is it
The
like
Bears.
being part of the Bears? A like historic franchise, being able to play, and then obviously they've had some rough years, and last year you guys balled out and turned the whole thing around, and like what I guess explain to us kind of what that was like, and for the city of Chicago, and just playing for some type like a historic franchise like that and actually winning.
It was special last year, man. I've told multiple people this year, but it was the most fun I had not playing football in a football season. I didn't play a snap, and I'm like, we'd come in after games like, what just happened? Like, not just 1 or 2 games, but like 7 or 8. Like, did that really just happen? Like, what is going on? And that's why I thought we were winning it. I really did. I thought we were going to win it. And I think every Chicago fan in the world did too. We kept coming through, and it was a defense one week, it was special teams the next week, and it was the offense another week. And, just the good, better, best, coach taking his shirt off. It was
Super hot. Yeah, sick.
he's jacked, man. He's jacked. He's the best. That's his 6th superpower, man.
Shirt off.
It was a special year in that city. Yeah, it's a great sports city. The Bulls, the Hawks, the White Sox, Cubs. Like, it's a great sports city, and the people were. It's lit this little fire, and you could just see it everywhere.
Yeah.
You could feel it everywhere, and it was really special. It was a fun one to be a part of, and I'm really excited to be going back. I want to win one. I've gotten close,
Totally.
and man, I want to win one bad.
What do you think it is? What's the next step? Is it just health? Is it just luck? Right place at right time? Just continuing to grow on the thing you compound? Mm-hmm. Is it a multitude of things? Is it a single thing? Like, what's the next step this team needs to take to not only go to the pinnacle of the sport but win it?
Yeah, I think that's everybody's million, if not $1 billion question. Is how do you get there, and then like the guys that are sitting there, the helmets that are sitting right there behind you, Mitch. How do you get back?
Right.
I think consistency is one. I think we stayed pretty healthy and had an offensive line that was really solid last year. That was as good of an offensive line as I've seen. Sans 2022 when I was there,
Pandering's
getting up under somebody's
a little bit left.
rear
Just
hind.
go a little bit left. Yeah,
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah, it's under
I
Mitch's
remember.
gooch.
All right, so it's not a totally fair question, right? Because to answer that question, there's 1,000 variables that go in. Maybe the next question I can ask you is, how important was it when you signed back, or what was the importance of going under center with Ryan Bates in your re-signing to the Bears?
He's got one of the firmest asses that I've been around, and he snaps it hard, and I enjoy it hard like that.
Yeah.
Like, I enjoy a nice, hard, firm snap.
Yeah, no, from a
Under
nice
when I'm under
hard,
center, when
firm
I'm
rump. Of course.
Because you also had when Mitch and I talked about this, good friend of mine, but the unexpected retiring of Drew Dalman.
yeah. Yeah,
Everyone
I
walks a different path in this thing, man.
it's true. Yeah, another Stanford guy that
Yeah.
dipped out what some would say early, and I bet he says right on time. Like
Oh,
as you know, Mitch, like if you could tell the future and take back some of those noggin knockers.
yeah.
I mean, it's hard. People don't realize, and that's what the year I got away from the sport. I don't think people realize how much physical, emotional, and mental just struggle that we are able to put up with daily, like hourly, some guys, and you just don't know. And we've had a lot of teammates and players, go through some very hard times and have just done some, what we may think is unthinkable, but like for them to be in those situations and to decide to end their life, it's terrifying and just so sad. Like that we've got to find ways of getting these guys and these kids in a spot to talk and to ask for help and to ask them if they need help. Who knows if somebody could have said something in a different time and way to help these kids. So, it's just it's a tough game. It's a beautiful game. It's given, us so much, and I'm so thankful for it and I love it. But, at the same time, there's a lot riding on a lot of guys' shoulders that are, as this thing keeps getting bigger and the cap keeps getting bigger and all these things,
Man.
it's going to be interesting to see how the future of this league.
It's fascinating. I totally agree. And more money doesn't always equate to grace of the mind and the relief of a burden, whether it's physical or mental.
Right.
Take this opportunity to cheers to not only the progression of mental awareness, health awareness, but also Drew Dalman for knowing when the time's right. Cheers, my friend.
right. Cheers,
Congratulations,
buddy.
brother.
Mm-hmm.
Cheers to a long and prosperous, healthy life after football, my friend. I was dancing when he did it just because I knew, like, when you know, right? And it takes courage to leave that much cheese on the table. And I thought he did that, and he stuck to his guns. And, I mean, he did it early enough so that you could get a guy like Bradbury, too.
Yeah.
So I thought that was fascinating. I mean,
It wasn't like he left anybody. I guarantee you go around our locker room and nobody, any to a man, would think that he's letting us down in any way. Like,
No.
that guy played through some really tough injuries this year and was a pro's pro, was there early, leaving late, and great player. I mean, Pro Bowl player. I mean,
No
and
doubt.
had a great year. So
He's a
cheers
dog.
to him for sure.
Yep.
Cheers to him. Do you mind if we do a segment sponsored by Labatt?
Let's do it.
Okay. This segment is called Case Gets Candid. Are you ready, Case?
Let's go.
All right, so I'll preface this first question, Case, by that among your many stops, I assume people come up to you when you first get there and say, hey, congratulations. Here's where you should really try some food. This is what we're known for. Go to this food spot. Okay? So my first question to you, Case Keenum, is, of all the stops you've made, which city had the food and or food item that deserved the hype it received?
I will say I'm going to be a homer. I literally I went through the Rolodex there, and I went through like Buffalo's wings. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's probably number 2. Like, those are legit.
Totally.
Yeah.
LA, the Minnesota, like cheese curds, like LA, who knows what LA is,
A melting
Denver.
pot of sorts.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't even know what Denver's known for, but Texas, our Tex-Mex, like,
Yes.
will just
Tell 'em,
blow
Case.
you out of
Tell
the
'em.
water. Yes.
Tell them again.
It will blow you out of the water, man. Chips and queso, little cerveza, little, our boys south of the border. But man, it is just some fajitas, queso,
Tortillas, dude.
little enchiladas. Yeah. I mean, you go in and it's just unlimited chips, unlimited salsa. And there's so many here, man. I can go El Tiempo, Los Tios, Lupe, Cyclone and Eyes.
Hey, Lupe
Yeah.
is sneaky good. Lupe is
Really
my
good.
favorite, dude.
Really good. Yes.
So good. Well, it's crazy. I'm about to pass out because all the blood is rushing out of my head to another region.
To his other head.
Keep going, brother. What else you got?
You got to be careful when you start thinking with your little head rather than your big head. And
Food.
when it
food
comes to
works in
Tex-Mex,
mysterious
you
ways.
for sure can get that way.
Food is a strange beast for me as an ex-fat boy. Still fat, still in rehab here. Beautiful answer, and one that I totally approve of. A complete homer. You were absolutely right in that department. Well done. You got the first one correct.
Awesome.
Case Keenum, who is one teammate of yours that did not or currently does not receive the praise that they deserve as a player?
As a player?
As a player.
Let's see here. I'll go current.
Past or present?
Yeah,
Okay,
I'll
current.
go current.
Like it.
I'll go with a guy that I think is going to have a breakout year, and I think that's Luther Burden this next year. I think we saw
Missouri.
some flashes of it. Yeah, there you go. I knew
The
you'd
blood's
like
still
that one.
flowing for Mitch.
I
after
knew
that
you'd
episode.
like
Now,
that
now I'm
one.
for sure going to pass out. This is great.
Yeah,
Full torque.
we saw some flashes of it, man. He wasn't all the way healthy during the spring. Having a good off season. I'm excited to see what he looks like coming back here in OTAs. But there's only been a certain few guys, like receiver wise, that I have like seen a look in their eye, and I've gone over to the play caller and I'm like, get this dude the ball, and he's one of them. And I think he's got a little bit of that dog in him, or whatever you want to call it, it factor.
Oh, Luther Burden III. Congratulations. That's fantastic. What a great answer. 2 for 2. You're winning this thing. This is great. All right. Case Keenum. Football, as we know, is a game of confidence. Was there one game you walked into, whether college or pro, where you might have been the underdog, but you had this divine confidence that you would win, and you did?
It's so hard when you got so many games. I'd say one of them, probably one of my more special wins, was coming back from my knee injury in college. I got that 6-year of eligibility, and I had hurt my knee against UCLA the season prior at the Rose Bowl. And our kickoff the next season was going to be against UCLA at home. And we were underdogs, just University of Houston, mid-major, kind of small school, playing the big boys. And, they get off the bus and it's like, oh, wow, oh my, and like, I got a bunch of my track guys out there that are, 5'10", 160 pounds and can fly around. And we put it on them, man. It was just how I wanted it. And it was just a special day coming back from injury, being able to come off that field and shake the trainer's hand and all the players and coaches and doctors that I had worked with all season. So that was a special, special day. It was a long, long time coming.
Oh, I bet that was
Well, let's
a delicious drink.
let's do the inverse of that. Was there a game that you were so confident in, and like prepared, confident, ready to go, and then just didn't quite turn out the way you wanted it to?
Yeah.
That's a great question.
Thanks, Casey. You always come in with those great questions. All
like
that
to see
blood
the
that rushed
misery.
down there is no
Yeah.
longer there, bud.
No, yeah. Straight back.
Wow.
Come on now.
I would say that the game after the Minnesota Miracle, we're going to Philly, right? It's the NFC Championship, and we're riding high. It's like, oh my gosh, this is what's going on. Incredible, season. We've won 13 or 14 games that year, and we go there, and it's like, like they're punching police horses and flipping us off and spitting at us as we're walking by, driving in. And I told my family, like, just wear black. Like, don't wear any purple or any,
No doubt.
I invited, like, 2 of my, like, biggest friends, like, dogs. I'm like, I set them at the ends, and
Largest friends, like in size.
yes, like,
Okay, got you.
yeah, like protectors. Yeah. Like they were there not to have a good time. They were there to make sure my family was okay. Anyway, we go down, we get a stop, 3 and out. we get the ball back, we go down and score, and we get a stop, and I'm like, we're going to the Super Bowl. This is it. Like, what? Come on. And we get the ball back, and Chris Long off the edge tips my arm on a third down, pick six, and they score 38 unanswered. So it's 38-7. And we get absolutely smoked. But it was Nick Foles. It was their year, Philly, all that stuff. And he's a great friend of mine, and I couldn't be more happier for him. It, sucks that we didn't play, like we should have. But I'd say that was one of the bigger letdowns. But again, man, it's the shitty times that make the good times feel that damn good.
No doubt, dude. And the problem is Chris Long is also a kick-ass dude. Like that. I hate that.
Yeah, he's a good guy. Does some great stuff. Water Boys. He's got a Green Light podcast, so he's definitely
absolutely
one of the boys.
But Nick Foles, dude. So I overlapped with Nick Foles for 1 year in Kansas City, and he's great. And I'll just leave it. He's also just he's got a lot going. He's got a lot going for him. That's all. I'll leave it there. He's got God bless him.
He's got a hat company too, man.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Dad season.
Yeah,
he's crushing.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Shout out to Ike.
Yeah, a little Stallion.
Because that really does look good on your head.
Yeah,
that looks
you can go
really
forward or backward with the snapback.
You really could. You really should go backwards hat. Talk about blood flow. Hello, heading straight back down again. That is a fantastic look, my friend. Next question for you. Case Keenum, have you ever used the football card, maybe even begrudgingly, to help secure a reservation at a restaurant?
It's funny. I tell people this. In Houston, I remember calling places. This was early in my career. My wife would call a place, and we wouldn't be able to get in, and then she'd put her name. They're like, Kimberly Keenum? Oh, Case Keenum? Oh, yeah, we'll get you in. Come on in. And then we moved to St. Louis, and I would call a place and be like, this is Case Keenum, quarterback of the Rams. Like, you sure there's – oh, it's a 3-hour wait. Oh, okay. Never mind. It was like the opposite in St. Louis. They did not care for their Rams.
That's
so
solid, dude. Oh, my gosh, that's great. Oh, that's a fantastic answer. Okay, very well done. So it's the wife. She's doing that. Then you let the context clues. You let the restaurant.
Yeah, she's like, hey, this is Case Keenum's secretary.
Yeah. Now Kimberly's the best. How is she doing, by the way? She all good?
She's great, man. Just got a 6 and a 5-year-old now. So one's in kindergarten, one's in pre-K, and getting ready to go back and forth from Chicago. You know how the life goes, man.
It's just everyone's stress-free, right? That's super duper.
Exactly. Yeah. Nothing up in the air.
Nothing up in the air. No, she's super all. This is great. It's perfect time. She's awesome, by the way. My wife wanted to tell your wife hello.
Oh, well, all the same, man. Appreciate you. Miss you guys.
We miss you more. And that brown water cabinet you have is quite. Is it still growing?
Well, it is because I'm not in it right now, man. This Phillip Rivers playing until he's 44. I'm like, golly, I'm 38. I guess I got 6 more years. I can't be dipping into that brown water as much as I use. I got water now. So,
dude, water is not the same. It really isn't. I'll tell you what. I went nuts when I first retired. And then you kind of get back to you revert to some water sounds great. Although Labatt does keep me nice and.
There you go.
Hydrated. Next question.
We're thinking about starting a water company. We have this little winery down in south of Houston here called Hack Wines and Vineyards. But we bought a canning system, and we're going to call it Life Hacks. So you need a little water in between every Labatt, like, hey, life hack, drink a little bit of water, in between every 12
This is your
Labatts.
place? This is your place?
Yeah, it's me and a couple buddies. We bought it. Yeah, it's really cool.
That's sweet.
Yeah,
Dude,
it's fun.
Just keep me informed. I want to keep my finger on the pulse of this thing because I'm super interested, especially in, a little water.
Yeah, life
canned
hacks.
water.
Be looking for it, man. Yeah,
Less,
like liquid death,
plastic. Totally, dude. And I'm telling you, carbon, and water in a can. It's on fire right now,
dude.
Exactly, microplastics and all that.
Water in a can, and also Gatorade in a can. And I know you guys know.
Yes.
I know you guys know there is a massive difference between normal Gatorade and that Gatorade in the can you get during camp and game.
No doubt. No doubt.
It just slaps so
much. It is
much
the best.
It just seems colder and better.
I don't know what it is. It just tastes different.
It does. It's frosted
That's the
flakes.
first thing I do. Every new facility I go to, I'm like, all right, where's the training room? Like, where's the food at? And then third, it's like, where do you keep the canned Gatorades?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Where do you keep the old? Yeah, the old guys want their
So
canned
good.
Gatorades.
So good.
Yeah, that's all right. Next question, Case. Case Keenum, have there been any players/teammates that your relationship had a rocky start with, but you ended up being really good buddies?
No.
God, it's a tough one, man. I'm trying to think of like some
The
like.
correct another answer is just like no. I've had smashing relations with everyone, and
No,
you're good.
I'm generally a pretty easygoing guy, and I don't really ever have any too much beef with anybody. There's probably been some like DBs in the spring.
Sure.
When I get there and it's like, this dude thinks he's all world. Like,
Yeah.
what are we doing? Like, this guy will not shut his mouth. And I've got like two in my mind. I'm not going to say who they are, but and then like during the season, you're like, okay, he got 2 picks. Like, cool. Like,
Yeah.
he's one of the
Nice.
good guys. I'm glad he's on our team.
Nice. Yeah. Sick. All right. That's a correct answer. Well done.
Being politically
Yeah, we
correct there too.
We don't listen. We're not here to oust anyone. No, we're not going to do that. Okay, next question. Case Keenum. At what age or year in the pros do you feel like you received unk status in the locker room?
Oh, yeah. I had some kids calling me sir when in college at one point when I was coaching them
In
in the
college?
summer. Yeah, I remember like,
Oh,
dude, don't
I see,
don't
I
call
see.
me sir. Like, appreciate it, but
Dude.
no. I don't know. Every year I get older, and the kids coming in are like, when they were born
Matthew
in
McConaughey,
2000,
baby.
exactly. Yeah, they stay the same age.
They stay the same.
When they started getting born after 2000, and now it's like 2005 or something, and I tell them I'm an 80s baby, and they're like, "What 80s?"
Oh, dude, gross.
I'm like, yeah, dude. I was throwing
Dude, you were
touchdowns
the
to Andre
cassette
Johnson, and you
player.
were 5 years old, bro.
You're still sucking your thumb, kid. That's fantastic. All right, because you're just, yeah. I mean, my next question is, what was football like before the internet? Just kidding. I know you were in there with the internet. Although it's probably dial up. You couldn't make any phone calls around it. You old fuck. Okay. Okay. Last question. Case Keenum, and I want to tell you how much fun we've had on this. We kept you way over, and I know you have a lot going on, softball, pit, t-ball, all this stuff. When Casey asked me about Case, I told him that it was really fun because he's not only a great teammate, sneaky funny. I mean, one of the funniest guys I've been around, but one of the kindest dudes I've ever known. So thank you for coming on here, brother.
Well, thanks for having me, guys.
Buddy, this has been such a treat. The last question I want to ask you, Case Keenum, when you do end up hanging it up, whether that's 5 to 10 years from now, right? What do you want to be remembered as from your teammates?
Yeah, that's a great question, Mitch. There's a lot of things that I'd like to be remembered by. Um, Being a great teammate, giving everything I've gotten. Just a guy that wants to pass on the knowledge that other people have passed on to me. Um, but man, I'd like people to know that I played for more, like more than just myself. Played for more than just money. Um, Played for more than just winning. Like there's a way to do it, a right way to do it, to show people, what really matters here. So, yeah, I'd say that's a good little phrase for it. That he played for more.
I fucking that dude.
I like that.
It's just great because my circulation right now is just fantastic because that was
We're
such a
bringing you up.
beautiful answer, and it made a lot of sense to me.
Good thing
Yeah.
my camera cuts off here.
Yeah, this is fantastic. I want to thank you for the time that you gave us, the candidness you gave us. Your friendship, although in person, was brief with me in 2022. You made such a prolific and profound impact on me, and I know everyone who shared a locker room with you attests and feels the exact same way. Dude, I can't wait to see what these next few years bring for you and your family, pal. Please tell Kimberly we said hello, and thank you for joining us, buddy.
Hey, Mitch, Casey, that was excellent, man. I had a lot of fun. I'm really, really, it was a privilege that you guys would ask me on. So thank you guys. Excited to see where you guys are headed off to, too.
Probably cancellation at some point. That's what we decided. This
Well,
has
we
been
all
another
are.
episode of In
Bears.
Good Company with Mitch Morse. We're joined by Case Keenum. Thank you, and God bless.